Hi.
Well, I'm sure no matter what time the call comes, it'll be a welcome call. So,
He goes to bed very early.
Okay. Hi, Dee.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Oh, Beata, you're back. You were frozen.
Yeah.
Hi. Hi. Okay. So what are we doing today? I have no idea.
Well, I think that we should talk about the sequence of what we're going to be doing at promoting our work this week. That's what I would like to do, because I'd like to get it down exactly, what everybody's thinking and doing. I didn't get my album put up this weekend because we were out of town. And I had my iPad and I couldn't do on Facebook. I could not do the album on Facebook.
Okay.
So I looked at it late last night when I got home on my computer, and I can. I didn't have my computer with me this weekend. So I'm going to get those. I'll get those later today. But then I'd like to talk about like are we going to start sending out? I've already started formatting I've got my landing pages almost done. And then I'm going to and then, I was going to start my getting my email series to send out. Actually, I wanted to get them sent out today, my first one, for Black Friday. And then I saw a cute little thing on TV this morning. I thought, oh, that would be fun to do. So, I was thinking, okay, how do you send out to Black Friday? And then the next day, Small Business Saturday, you feel like you're overloading them. Well, so on the email, it was real cute. It says, hey, if you did you miss Black Friday? Well, now we have Small Business Saturday, and you can still take the offer.
Okay, and then we have Cyber Monday.
And then we have Cyber Monday. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and actually the offer isn't any different. It's just continue. But it's a way of doing it.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with you. I'm still taking pictures. I don't know if you can see everything behind me, but I will have my album up today.
And I need to redo my album. The quality of the photographs was pretty bad. So I just wanted to put something up by Saturday.
Yeah. Okay, so let's discuss that. I did receive the email from Sergio, who came up with the whole idea for the challenge and the sale. So I haven't read it. So if there's any good information, I'll post it. But yes, let's talk about this. I think just to set things rolling, I think once we all have our albums, which today we should, one, to start talking about it on Facebook. Invite. There are people, we have friends who we can invite, and other people we just need to post the link and ask them to come over. We have different categories of friends and followers. And, to talk about it, I think, in the morning, I'll talk about Allison, and in the afternoon, I'll talk about Beata, and then in the evening, I'll talk about Dee, and then the next day, I'll talk about Marianne or Michelle, like just to continue the rotation. And I know I can do this on Facebook consistently. On Instagram, just because everything is branded, it's crazy, but I'll figure that out. And
on Instagram, I was reading about that this weekend, and on Instagram we could just do all of us could just do a little post on our own Instagram.
Yes.
And have the Facebook and put it on Facebook, which would go on our personal Facebook, and that would get it out on Instagram if we each did that on our own Instagram account.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the goal is to invite people, post it everywhere. Sometimes just pick one painting and post like whatever blurb the artist added to the painting. Post an individual painting. Next time, post a picture of the artist. Next time, post everything. anything to just, set things in motion. I think that's all we have to do.
Yeah. And on Instagram, you guys may already know this, but it's real important to put a lot of hashtags. And what I do is in Word, I have all my hashtags on a page in my Word as a Word document. And I can just take them and copy them into Instagram.
Yeah.
Or like on my iPad, I have it in my notes. And but the one thing, like on Instagram too, you want to put in the very first sentence what people would search. Like me, I would say original still life oil paintings in the old Dutch master style, or you want to get paintings in there. You want to get, if you do flowers, you want to get flowers in there. If you do, abstract, you want to be sure to do the abstract in there. But also be sure to put the word contemporary when you put abstract, put contemporary too. So you want to get those key words in your first part of your posting.
Yeah. We also need to create our own hashtag.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that Marianne?
Yes.
Sorry, darling, we can't hear. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm working.
It shows.
I have misplaced my colored pencils, and I'm frantic to find them. I need them.
I did that earlier this morning too. Colored pencils. I was searching. I was on my knees, and somebody came into the studio, and they were saying hello to the computer guy that was sitting at my computer, and I popped up, "Hello," and they go, "Oh my God." Sorry, it was just a funny aside.
Yeah.
I'm actively listening.
Okay.
No, we do need to come up with a hashtag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what do people think?
Something not too long. I think to have the Intercontinental Women's Salon will be too long.
No, we could do it letters though, couldn't we?
Yeah, it could be. So it could be something like IWS art. IWS art, maybe.
Okay. So if we all use that in amongst all of our things, and then it'll just get it out there.
Yes, and then
ISWP.
Intercontinental Women's
Intercontinental
Salon of Women Painters.
Yeah, so it's IWS art.
IWS art, yeah.
IWS art, yes.
All lowercase.
I thought
hashtags are usually lowercase, but we can try to. Sometimes when you start a hashtag and you consistently use the uppercase letters, it'll stay uppercase, but usually it just goes to lowercase. So we can
sorry, guys. Could you repeat that again? I thought it was Intercontinental Salon of Women Painters.
It is.
Oh, so
ISWP.
Okay. ISWP art. Okay. ISWP art.
Okay.
Okay. So let me post that right now so that we'll.
Okay. Do you have any gaps between words? I'm so new to Instagram.
No gaps in hashtags.
No gaps.
It has to be one word. One, like no gaps, no punctuation, no nothing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm posting it right now.
Okay.
Okay. So our hashtag.
We all ought to do it on Pinterest as well.
Yes. Yes, I agree. And then add our links to the Facebook group.
What did Allison say?
To be active on Pinterest.
Oh yeah. Except which one of you are really good with Pinterest? Because I need some help.
Well, I'm trying to figure it out, but I'll get there. While you're all here, would you tell me what your Pinterest name is?
Yeah, hold on.
Let me create a thread for that so that we just post our links.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to have to develop a second account.
Yeah, I have two accounts.
Yeah, mine is way too personal, and it's stuff that I don't, and they're closed sections, which I don't really want everybody seeing. So I figure I'm just going to open a new one.
You can hide them.
I do, but I'm gonna do a totally separate one for business. It just I feel a need to do that.
Yeah.
Now, I must admit, I've got public ones and private ones because sometimes I flip stuff between them. At the moment, all you'll see is my art stuff, but sometimes I'll have the fish ones showing, and sometimes I might have the bird ones showing.
I noticed that they want you to have a separate email for each of your Pinterest accounts. Oh. So I will set it up with a separate email that reflects the brand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I don't think I've ever posted my art to
what are you called though?
Yeah, I realized I just had to change my name. Just a minute. I'm posting the link right now.
You know, I never heard on Pinterest either, but
whoops,
put it up.
Lost you there, Michelle.
Hi, did I lose everybody?
Yes, for a moment.
Yes, for a moment.
I think I might have lost everybody. Yeah, I said that I have a lot of my art on Pinterest, but I never put it on.
Yeah, neither have I.
I think we can put it there for you.
Let me go to a different location.
Allison, how do you find, if you're on your Pinterest, how do you find your name? Or what?
Look at the top where it says HTTPS. And it should say www.pinterest.
Mine doesn't have that at the top, but hold on, I'm on, I don't want to hang up on you guys. So.
Are you on your Pinterest page?
Yes, I am.
So what's the URL of your page?
It doesn't have it up there. That's what I'm trying to get it to show. Hold on.
That's odd.
So
okay, it's just mine. It's DEEKIRKHAM. D Kirkham, all lowercase one word. DEEKIRKHAM. And you know, I have a question though on the Pinterest. Okay, so you guys were talking about you have too much personal stuff on yours. Don't you think that? I mean, I was under kind of the impression that even though you have your personal stuff and you have your art stuff, and you know, on Pinterest you're going to post under your art, but let's say that someone comes to my hairstyle Pinterest and then they see the other stuff too in art, where they would come to the art and then they get interested in the art. Yes or no? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think with Pinterest, the more you have, whether it's personal or not, the more you have, the more engagement you have. That's what I think.
Exactly. So if you get an engagement for hairstyles, they might see your art.
Yes. That's it right there.
Okay.
The little bit that I've learned from this woman who's running this amazing course, the things that we need to do is we need to be pinning every single day,
Mm-hmm.
The next thing we need to do is we need to take images of our work and drop it into other pages. So like my under the sea coral pieces, I drop into the tropical fish page that I've got, you know, collection of, and I might drop a picture that I've done of bubbles into, I don't know. The whole point is to drop your stuff into other pages where everybody else is hanging out.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So that's what I've learned so far. She also says you should be posting 5 things a day. I will. In fact, I've just had an email from her. Her name is Jenna Kutcher.
Mm-hmm.
The course, I'm very tempted to take the course. It's only $197.
Okay.
You know, that's not a lot of money to learn how to do it. It's just that, have I got time? That's my only thing.
Yeah,
That's the
the
thing.
problem. It's the time.
The only other thing about it is that you buy the course, you download the course, it's on your computer, it's yours. You do it at your own pace. But I think that if somebody gives me a piece of string that long, I'll never reach the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At the
moment,
one thing I did probably what you did which was make myself aware of somebody. And honestly, I've been so busy I didn't go look for my notes. But the thing I got from it, just from the original seminar, was that you could probably go get some information by just Googling most effective methods on Pinterest.
Right.
If you just ask the very basic questions, a whole bunch of stuff comes up for you, and they'll tell you these are the best rated, you know, things to do. These are the best times to post. You know, they'll give you the highlights.
How did you phrase that?
Oh, don't ask me to repeat something. It just flew out of my head. I don't know. Most effective methods on Pinterest.
You said best effective methods on Pinterest.
Yeah, something along those lines. And stuff will show up, and you'd be surprised at just how much is out there. The thing that became apparent to me in June or July when I did one of these introductory seminars was they'd been relying on a posting method that now the platform decided to discontinue the use of. They weren't going to allow it to be used anymore. So
really,
when I Googled best effective methods, one of them came up, and it was the one, more than one came up, but one of them had been discontinued, and that was one of them. I think the algorithms or something, they just made a decision that this couldn't continue. Whatever it was making too much of the potential, maybe, and they were backing you up a little bit.
Yeah.
So just play a little with Googling, and you might be surprised what you've come up with. That's sitting out there, because that Pinterest is not, you know, rocket science. And I think they were relying on groups of people getting together and hitting each other's posts up, just like we did with the Instagram. Amira Rahim's, she wanted us to join these groups where we just clicked on each other's stuff all the time. And it helped build the momentum. And I got the impression the same thing was going on with Pinterest, and that's one of the things they shut down. But that was June or July or May, and it could have changed since then. What's going on? So, because it changes.
What I find that whatever the platform is, it just requires a lot of time.
It does. Yeah.
Period. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, it requires commitment. You have to engage with people. You know, you need to keep on doing the same thing so that people start knowing your name and recognizing your art. And so ultimately, I think it's about choosing a platform that we love and giving it 100,000%.
Yeah.
Because there's no formula. It's about consistent engagement. Well, there are formulas, but you know what I mean. Regardless of the formula, it boils down to consistent engagement. You know, so
I did get some advice the other week on the Johnny Hate Marketing call, where somebody said, who's meant to be an expert, said you shouldn't post the same thing on Instagram as you post on Facebook. I have to say she might be an expert, but I disagree, because that way I can post every day as I do: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. Why wouldn't you do it? Somewhere along the line, I'm going to start to gather people that are genuinely interested.
Yeah, I know the rule of thumb is that, so let's say you have the same image, right? So let's say this is this is what you painted today. People say it's the captions which make the difference. The way you engage on Instagram is going to be different from the way you speak on Facebook. You know, on Facebook, you don't want to add the whole list of hashtags, you know, but that's what you need to do on Instagram. And then on Pinterest, I don't know.
Well, the other interesting thing that I picked up about Pinterest is that we know that on Instagram, you post in the morning, your feed's probably so far down by the end of the day, it's gone. And my eldest son is always saying to me, you need to be posting twice a day, Mum.
Oh, wow.
Work out, you need to, because you can queue it. And I've never worked out how to do that. The interesting thing that I came across about Pinterest is that Pinterest is really the visual version of Google.
Right.
What you see, you Pinterest it. It stays there for months on end. It doesn't disappear like the other mediums. And that's what caught my attention, and that's why I'm trying to find out more about how it works.
Absolutely, I agree.
So I'll figure it out, and I will post to all of them every day. I will take an hour every morning, and that's the first thing I do every day.
Yeah, it's just the commitment. I think everything works. It boils down to commitment.
Yeah. What I'm trying to do with my system is that I'm trying to, every Sunday evening, while I'm watching some stupid movie that doesn't make sense, I do my week schedule, but pretty much it's the same stuff, it's just new stuff, and that is that I schedule every day a certain time to do all my postings, and then another time to work on my email series or whatever I have to, do with that. And I try to stick to it, and if I do it on Sunday, then I know kind of what the rest of my week looks like. And that way, then when I do put it on my schedule, I can kind of stick with it because I already have planned it around my other schedule.
Yeah. It's, yeah. I personally, it's not like I've had any major success, but whatever success I have experienced has come from relationships. So.
The only thing I found about having to post in the mornings, it mentally kind of skewed me. And it was almost like taking a drug, internet first thing in the morning, too much of it, an hour and a half. And it dispersed my energy for doing just about anything else. So I kind of made a decision that if I was going to do that, I should do it later in the day, after I've done the other things that were really important to me, like getting into the studio and actually producing. I needed to make that the first thing I do rather than anything having to do with the internet, which just...
Marianne, are you a morning person or an evening person?
Hard question. Lately, I've been a 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. person. but that is not always the case. So
I think if you're a morning person, it's not something that works for you. I'm not. I wake up slowly.
Yeah.
But just to sit and do that, sit in bed even and do it. It kind of wakes me up.
I was doing it. See, I was waking up and then jumping on immediately and handling we were in this group where we clicked on everybody else's stuff so we'd get this momentum going. And I would do that. And then I'd catch a little of the other stuff that was going on. Like we all get distracted once you get into the media of the platforms. But by the time I got on to anything else in my day, 2 hours had passed. So I realized this was a bad thing for me, that I really had to put this later in the day. Otherwise, my day just dissipates into not productive?
I think I worked with someone once, and she said to succeed online, you have to spend 75% of your time marketing and 25% of your time actually doing the work. And it's kind of true, but
it's true. In fact, I've heard 80%. 80% marketing, 20% creativity.
Yeah, and it's I don't know.
My ideal is the opposite way. Opposite for me. 20% marketing. I'll give you 80% production. But that to me seems like more reasonable.
Yeah, that's the ideal.
I think what will happen is, though, that if you put in that 80% in the marketing for a fixed period of time, that gains momentum such that you get to a point where you can say, okay, I don't need to put in 80% because I've got my customers. They're knocking on my door. So I can drop that down to 70, 60, 50, whatever. Or I buy in the people that do that bit for me so that I can spend more time being creative. But I think initially, to get our name out there, we have to. If we want to be taken seriously, we have to bite the bullet and do it. Horrible.
I see an necessity for an assistant.
Yeah.
For me. I can't wait. I need stuff.
Yeah. It's
even more so as my husband's now announced he's going to be away for most of blooming December. Never mind.
How did you do that, Alison? I want to do that.
What? Get rid of your husband?
Yeah.
Send him round to help me while my husband's away in America.
Okay. Maybe I could send mine over there with you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's come back to our timeline.
Yes.
So, ideally, fingers crossed, we should all have our things up to date. Even if, in my case, I know I'm going to be posting half of the album today and half tomorrow. I can't do it all today. Yeah. But at least the album will be up.
Okay.
So, I know online they say the ideal thing to do is to set time limits. I don't think we've gathered enough momentum to do anything like that, right? To say only 5 days, whatever. So I think it's simply about opening up the Facebook group to our audiences and consistently inviting them till December 31st.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's the simple plan.
Okay, I'm sorry. Say that again. You broke up, Julianne.
I was saying that the ideal thing would be to say this was going to be open for only 5 days or whatever is usually done. But we don't have, maybe we can do that next year, but we haven't built enough to do that. So the goal will be to consistently invite people to the group between now and December 25th or 31st. And that will be by posting, by telling people, by posting everywhere. For those of us who have email lists, to blast it to the email list. I think that's all we have to do.
But I don't think we want to tell them that. We want to make it like it's only for Friday, Black Friday, and then extend it, for Saturday and Monday, and then extend it on. We want to make an urgency with them about it.
Okay, so
I disagree.
I disagree too.
I'm just kind of going by what Alexis said. That it's good to have an urgency, even though we don't. Because I see that in a lot of things that I get for, for different programs and different, coaching and, all the different things. They don't say anything about it being extended, but it's very interesting. It's like, for instance, Canvas prints. They had a deal today, only 85% off your Canvas prints. So, man, I got my order in that day. Well, that was 2 weeks ago, and I'm still getting that same offer every day.
I think you have to remember that we don't have a Black Friday that's quite like you have in the States. That's the first thing. Oh. And the second thing is Christmas is the urgency.
Right.
It's only, what, 5 weeks to Christmas?
Right. That's what I'm saying, yeah. But you also have to remember shipping time before that, too.
Yeah. So, but people know that when they're looking for presents, they know that they've got to get it shipped to them.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm saying allowing 2 weeks to Christmas to begin with. And then after the 2 weeks from December the 1st, so December the 1st, 2 weeks would be December the 15th. And I'm telling them that it's free shipping. But then after December the 15th, it'll cost you a lot of money to express ship.
Okay, that's fair. That's something.
Yeah.
That's not difficult to. Yeah. So that could be at the top of the. We could create an announcement at the top of the page.
Right.
Where we say, if you buy before this date, you'll have free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I think that's fair. But anything else, I think would feel disingenuous because we don't have that momentum.
Yeah, true. Okay.
So, okay.
Well, that's what I about urgency. That's kind of.
Okay, so let me see if I can do that. Because I realize that as soon as I leave this call, I forget everything.
I was even going to put a timer on mine for free shipping.
Okay. Okay, so I think what we do on our individual platforms, that's
okay.
That's up to us. But for the group,
can we share? I would like to share at least, my email series with you guys and get your opinion. Can we do that? And what would be the best way to do it?
Sure.
Just on on this Facebook page.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. On our own. How many people have created the email series?
I created the emails that was going to tell people about the studio sale, and then I added our part about our small paintings and with a different timeline. And then I thought what I would do is start the email campaign for our paintings in December, because it's just getting convoluted that I'm having a studio sale as well as this other.
Of course. Okay. I'm in the process of creating my first one, and it's making me crazy. So
me too.
Even though I'm handing everything over and I'm just supplying the information, oh my God, no wonder I haven't done it up until now. But that's why I was asking how many people have the Welcome series and how easy or difficult was it?
I'm just in the process, so I don't know. I mean, I've done it with the affiliate program. I did it with that, with my MailChimp, and but I hired it done, so that was real easy.
Okay.
We were told to do it in the group with Alexis. It's all sitting on my computer, but not necessarily being used.
Okay.
It's all there.
Yeah. Okay, so I want a nice image to show shipping. I want to create the post in the group right now for that little announcement. So that's the first thing you'll see. And Michelle, I think you're the last person to send us a picture so that I can create the collage for a picture of you.
Our faces? I don't have any.
You do.
Don't you have anything of you in the studio? Even if it's not.
I've never taken a good picture in my life. So I do have one that was used for
like this.
A magazine article.
Okay, can you send that? Can you post that in the
Sure.
So there's a thread. There's a thread with all of our pictures. So just post it and I can create the banner.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
It doesn't look like me.
It's fine.
You could post a picture of somebody else if you wanted to.
There you go. They don't have to know what I look like.
In fact, I think I might do that. I might find somebody very young and very beautiful and put that insert there instead.
You could always take it into one of the apps that makes it like a cartoon or makes it like something else, and you can take your own picture and do that too.
Well, Bieta, I love the picture that comes up for you. It looks like it was polarized, solarized, not polarized, solarized, if you remember that darkroom technique, and it's very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that.
A normal photo.
Yeah, there you go.
Photo.
Okay, I found a very generic photograph. I'll use it for now. I'll change it later, but just to have an image for showing shipping.
I can send it right to you after. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no problem. Okay.
I apologize that I've been a bit distracted. There were people coming in, and we had a huge city council meeting on Saturday where they decided that the operations of the torpedo factory would be taken over by the city permanently.
Oh.
And so although they're extending our lease by a year, it's not good. It's not good. It's I'm afraid it's the beginning of the end. And
that's
I'm sorry to hear
well,
that.
I am too. I knew this was coming, and which is why I took Alexis's course to begin with, so I could figure out a way to earn a living outside of being in the factory, and that it's come together this quickly is rather disturbing, and without even, the city council acted on its own. It didn't even tally up because the majority of residents don't want it to go that way.
Well, why don't we stage a big protest and we'll all come there with our signs and we'll disrupt
That would be great.
Yeah, get everybody together there and we'll all come in and
So let me ask, maybe you haven't thought that far ahead, but I'm sure you have. So what would be the ideal situation once you don't have this support and this space? Would you want to set up at home? Would you want to get your
Yes, I think so.
You want to set up at home?
Probably just because of affordability.
Okay. And then to have the online courses and things running. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know about all of us. I know, Dee, you're thinking about your courses and you're going to start putting things together in January. Michelle, I know you definitely want to teach courses. I go back and forth. But I think it would be a good idea to really, I'm not saying start the Profit Canvas all over again in January, but in the same way that this challenge gave us a goal, it hasn't been the smoothest thing, but it gave us a goal where we created these small works and together we're putting it out there. I think come January, if we have a common goal, and we're all working together towards the goal, even though they're individual goals, I think that will be very helpful.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, I don't know if we want to invite anybody else or not. I tell you, on the new one, and Michelle, you can say something to this, but on the new affiliate program, I mean, there's one gal, Sophie. Man, she posts constantly all day long with ideas, helpful hints, and then her own struggles. You know, I mean, she's to me, I've probably gotten more from her than anybody that I did.
Wow.
Have you seen her?
I've seen her name a few times. I haven't been following it as closely as I've been following the Art to Life Academy and other things that are more, you know, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's just, you know, so, I mean, it might get widen our horizons to do that. You know, I don't know if you guys want to or not, but I think that's a good idea. To kind of set some goals for the new year and then start working on them.
Yep. I think they're going around studios looking for mice right now. So
oh no!
Another reason to be distracted. Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody was going. There was one there. There was one there. I'm going no.
Okay. So what's the cutoff date for the free shipping again?
I'm going to do the free shipping until the 15th of December.
15th, okay.
Because then
so all purchases.
Ship it the cheapest way until then. And then after that, it becomes express. And so that's more expensive.
Yeah. Okay. Before December 15th.
Actually, I'm going to make it on that Friday, which is the 14th of December, Friday.
Okay.
I don't want to go to the post office on Saturday.
No.
So anyway, so let's go back. So, you know, we're going to hit Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest 2 times a day, every day, all 6 of us, 6 of us. Okay.
I won't. I'm not going to commit to that, but I will do what I can.
Yeah.
I will do what I can, but 2 times a day, I'm not going to commit to.
I'm kind of joking.
I'm glad. Glad you're joking.
Okay. And so then we're going to do our email series. And basically mine's going to start, I'm hoping today, or I might schedule it to do like early in the morning, you know, tomorrow. But
Okay.
So, and that's going to be kind of just, you know, what's going to happen on, you know, Black Friday.
Okay.
And so I'm going to do an email series. I'm going to do 4 of them, and then on Black Friday is going to be the big, you know, with the clock that says, you know, today's the last day, or today is the day. So.
Okay. So I've created the post for the free shipping before December 15th. If you feel the wording has to be altered or anything, feel free to fix that.
So what else do we need to do besides all of that?
So once Michelle, once you send your image, I'll create our cover photo.
Okay. I'll send that in the next hour.
Okay.
Within the next hour.
Yes. And then what else? What else do we need to do? Pardon? Yes.
We need to write our 1 sentence, short summary about us.
Yes, I see a couple of us have written our 1 sentences.
Yes.
So that will be put into the
Okay.
To the post.
That will be added to Allison's original wait.
Okay.
So we have a description. So I think there's the description and then there's the welcome. right? Which will also be marked as an announcement so that it's the first thing people see when they come in.
Yes.
Yeah, and that will have the collage with all of our images or individually, you know. So,
are you doing it in first person or third person? All of you writing just about yourself in first or third person?
I usually do first person.
Yeah, I do
first person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So let me see. Do we have who else?
You're not supposed to use I'm me. You're not supposed to do it in first person, are you? Anymore.
You know, there's so many rules of thumb. Some people say people want to be spoken to, you know, want to have a conversation.
Yeah, you talk about them, not you. You talk about them, not you.
Well, yes, but in an introduction.
Yeah. You want to sell yourself.
So I guess we do what work, you know, until we can figure the next thing out. We do what, you know, what works.
Okay.
It's confusing sometimes. God.
It is.
You know, the one thing too that I was reading and I did on mine, on my landing page, is that I, as an additional, I added I'm adding a gift certificate. And then that way, you know, if they can't decide for someone else for a gift of the art, then they can give a gift certificate towards any of my art or any of my products.
Yeah, I'm also creating gift certificates.
Okay. Yeah,
I
have them as well.
Yeah, we had a conversation in the.
Oh, did you? Oh, I missed that one. Then okay. Sorry.
So with you, is your gift certificate digital, or will you mail a tiny little something so that you know?
I don't know, because my next question was, what did you guys use for a gift certificate?
Okay, so in the other group that I'm in, we just talked about how, you know, sometimes digital certificates, we forget about them, they get lost, etc., etc. So it would be nice, especially as artists, it would be nice to mail something really tiny.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a card, it could be a postcard, it could be something, I don't know, just to have this tangible thing, which is the gift certificate, which encourages whoever received the gift certificate to be excited.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I was just going to have a picture of a gift certificate, you know, maybe whatever. And then because I'm going to send them with the gift certificate as a special addition. Whoever they're giving the gift certificate will get my 2019 calendar, and I will gift wrap it and send a special note from them and from me.
Exactly. So these little additions make it more.
Right. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Can I just jump in here and say it's a shame that Camilla isn't here on the call, because she had enormous success with her gift certificates.
Oh, really? Okay, that's good to know.
She coded it, and what she did was she kept a note of all the people that she'd sent gift certificates to. And then she contacted them to say it's about to run out, and that was how she got one of her sales.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, great.
That's interesting.
So you need to put a date. Yeah, this is it's a slightly different, I suppose, with the gift certificate. She was doing more gift certificate stroke of money off vouchers.
Okay.
But I think you probably do need to have an end date on it. It can't be something that lasts forever.
Okay.
So 3 months.
I always put 1 year on mine.
Or a year, yeah. I mean, yeah, whatever. Depends on how.
I think a year is fair.
Yeah.
I think a year is fair. What I'm putting together, up until now, I've refused to do custom work, but I've decided to open it up to do custom work, which is based on my style. I'm not like doing anything. It's very specifically based on my style. So we're thinking about creating an Instagram ad towards men, just selling the gift certificates. so that they can purchase these as gifts. And then whoever receives the certificate can decide on whatever they want.
Okay, so the gift certificates for the men to buy for their ladies?
Yes. Yeah, so that's something we're putting together.
Yeah.
And then it's custom.
I think that would yeah.
Yeah, that way they can come in and decide on what they want. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Is there anything else we want to cover?
Well, we were going to look at the Rich. I don't know why I can't say his name. Latvian.
Litvan.
Sorry, no offense. What a stupid bloody name for an English name.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, are we all ready to do that?
What are we talking about?
I couldn't understand it.
Marianne, we're talking about the way we can put our one-page websites, bios, whatever, together. The one based on the video that I posted.
Okay, I guess I didn't see that.
No, you've seen it. That was
Did I?
two weekends ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
your 3 greatest assets.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah, that
Okay.
one.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, that. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. One, that's hard.
Well, it was hilarious. I got my husband to do it with me, and I said to him, Mark, all you've got to do is find 3 nice things to say about me. Is it that difficult?
Did you pick that up?
It was. He couldn't do it.
So do you have anything?
Oh yeah, I have what I've written.
Okay, so I think the part where we talk about our experience, our track record, that's easy, right? Do you agree with me?
Mm-hmm.
Where I find the gravitas is in the introduction, which is based on our struggles, because again, that's where the emotional connection comes in. So if we could just focus on the first part, because that's the first thing people read. That's the thing, So
when you said the first part, you mean where we say what our 3 biggest gifts are?
No. So if you look at his format, he begins with either the dark side of your gifts, or what's the other one? The thing that has held you back your whole life.
That.
Pardon?
Okay. The thought that crossed my mind, and this is just from weakness, probably, was how am I going to take what I would say about myself and sell from that place? Mm-hmm. Because I'm not trying to create artwork that expresses from that place. It's just been It's just been the hurdles I've created for myself, my own limited thinking and my own self-doubt that has kept me from painting.
But that's the thing. That's where I find that's where because at the end of the day, it may be because you've sold in galleries in different ways, but I feel if people are going to buy from us as individuals, it's because there's a connection. Yes, it has to begin with them being drawn to the artwork visually, of course. But I think the next step is, and that's what Alexis tried to help us with, was creating a human connection. This is why she had us write about our first memory and our, what's the other one?
Money. Well, it was money. Our first money memories, and
no, our first
memories, creating
making art and an experience associated with making art? Your first feedback, or what was it? How did it go?
I think that our most profound experiences as artists.
Yes, profound experience. That's
exactly.
right.
So
and how are they related?
So I think these two things, I don't know if you remember the example she gave about this person was she in Cuba or something? You know, do you remember the example? That was in the marketing where she said initially the person said, oh, she paints because she needs to express herself.
Right.
And then she said that wasn't enough. And then she had to dig deeper and talk about these childhood experiences. And that was what created the connection.
Okay, so I got it. And I have the item. I mean, when I dig, I don't know if there's anything any deeper than that. It's just the pain of being moved around and having to make new friends in new places all the time.
Well,
and what did I do? But I turned to making things with my hands to keep myself busy, and
a form of escapism.
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Facebook page, and I don't see that anybody has done it. Maybe if you put yours up to give us an idea, maybe that would help.
I've put a rough draft of mine up. It's still very rough,
It was great, though. It really, I mean, you obviously have a lot of practice at expressing yourself because you have a very gracious way of getting it across. Even if you don't think it's there yet.
Do.
I mean, it's so much smoother than my attempts would be, and filled out, which, I tend to be very blunt, obviously. And it's, I'm not one to add fluff. I really like to just be to the point. That's my nature. So I'm always impressed when, for example, you come and you say what you're going to say. And I'm like, wow, that's just like I've landed on a cloud.
Thank you.
You have given such a sweet, soft, gracious expression. And I'm more like, just give me the cut and dried. Here's the right and the left, and here's the center, and that's what it is.
But you see, that's the beauty, because then your people are going to be drawn to you. Right?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so do we all want to go through this exercise?
The reason I don't see them is because they're not under that where you posted the video.
Let me tag you.
They're just randomly posted.
Let me tag you. I'll tag you.
Oh, that's okay. I can go through them.
No, it's fine. I'll tag you. So, Alison, are you ready to go first?
Oh, I can go through it.
Yes.
I'm a bit like Mariana. I'm just, there's no frills and froth with me either. So I came up with my 3 biggest gifts being honest, caring, and professional. And I managed to drag out of my husband fairness, goodness, listener, glamorous at times, qualify that, and competent.
Competent.
Okay.
Okay, so that was my successes were becoming an artist. He said being a mother and running a household. God, what an arse he is, really.
Well, he admires that quality.
No imagination, my husband. None at all. I put running 2 small businesses, looking after 2 young children and nursing my dying mother and doing them all well. And then setting up artist groups here in the US and here in the UK, and helping to run art leagues both there and here. So that was my 3 professional successes. I have more, but that'll do.
Yeah.
And then what holds me back and always has, fear of failure has always held me back. Doesn't anymore. But even though there are times when I worry that other artists don't take me seriously and I don't think I'm good enough, I remind myself I'm doing what I love. I'm doing it all the time, and I'm making money at it too. So I must be good enough. Yes. And his answer was, can be insecure. Can't we all?
Like attracts like.
And then the dark side of my gifts, and this is probably what I found, not stupid, but, oh wait, just read it. I put honesty. The dark side of that is that people take advantage of my honesty, and oftentimes they don't understand when I'm being honest. They think I'm joking, even, because people judge others by their own standards. So somebody might say to me, "Does my bum look big in this?" And I will say, "Yes, it does. Haven't you got anything better to wear?" And they'll think I'm joking. I'm being honest. And then caring. Again, people will and do take advantage of how much I care and don't realise that having that thrown back at me hurts. It really hurts. And then third, professional. I always behave in a professional setting in a professional way. I've said all of this to you already. By being honest and caring, I have very high moral standards, and that makes people uncomfortable. So that's my answer. But
okay. So have you started putting it together?
Well, like Marianne says, I don't do fluff.
No, it's not fluff. It doesn't have to be fluff. So if we follow Rich's example, he starts with, and I'm not saying we all have to start with it, but we're using his example. He starts with, if you're reading this, you probably
okay.
What was your you probably
he was talking about it in the context of them being coaches.
I agree, but then we can still take that and have a way for people to connect with us as artists.
But I can't do that. I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
I don't know. I can see, and that's my biggest problem. I watch all of these things about how all of these people are helping with other people with coaching and training and all that, and I think, yeah, great, I get that. But how do you make that about an artist? And
maybe this is an example of needing an editor. You know, somebody said to me, you know, you need to hire an editor. Somebody, you just talk to them for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and let them put it together for you.
Yeah.
Rather than you trying to decide how to say it.
Yeah, that's what I need. Because I don't.
Let me ask you one question. I know you're blunt. I get it. I know you. However, when people see your art, what do you want them to know about you?
I don't. No, honestly, I don't.
Okay.
Well, you might have to fake it a little bit then. You know, nobody said you had to tell them absolutely the truth. You know, you can gloss it a little bit. You know, I'm going to have to figure it out.
Somebody actually wrote on an Instagram feed this morning that the piece that I'd posted reminded her of sea dragons. And actually, I must look up what sea dragon is. And for me, that was gold. She'd come up with this all by herself. I hadn't told her. There we go. Sea dragon. Oh, they are seahorses. I love seahorses. I am so delighted that woman has looked at that and it's reminded her of seahorses.
Okay.
Because she's used her own imagination to look at what I've created and said, actually, I see this in it. It's not about me. I've done it and I've pushed it out there for everybody else.
If I were to write yours, if I had to write your, I would focus on the fact that, you know, you're not a traditional artist. You figured it out. You did it, right? And that's what I would lead with.
Okay.
You know, that's what I would lead with, and yeah, that's what.
Maybe what I need to say is what I enjoy doing is creating work for people to be able to find themselves in, rather than trying to find me in it.
Which is all connected, you know. But to just as you said, you had this conversation with this woman who ended up taking your class. There was a connection because you talked about this struggle of yours on this journey to becoming an artist, right? So even if you don't want to focus on the struggle, but you want to focus on the triumph, if you lead with that, it gives us a way to connect with you as a human being before we connect or after we've connected with the art.
Right. Okay. I can do that. I'll do that for next. Oh, actually, I won't be here on Friday. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm on a course.
Okay. Okay. Let's. Beata, are you ready to play with this?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
But I'm going to get my notes. Hmm. So my three gifts. I'm an empath, so super sensitive, who feels others' emotions and feel their auras. Uh, the another one is that I have a very strong, I would say, cocoon or bubble, which ensures me that I'm resistant. So I always able to stand up and rebuild my life. And the third one is that I have a very strong analytical skills.
I'm going to have to go, ladies. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I'm going. Oops.
I'm really sorry.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. So see you next week then.
Bye.
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 See you.
Okay. Yes, we're listening.
Okay, and the another question was successive. So I uh, ran several successful workshops, but as an economist, so the securities and other topics. Mm, I developed securities brokerage firms from scratch, and I can engage people when I passionate about the job what I do.
Okay.
So I think these are my successes.
Okay. So now what's the one thing that has held you back? Has held you back your whole life.
I think my family, because uh, I think that my family is first,
Mm-hmm.
so I need to serve them first and support my son
Mm-hmm.
uh, to become successful and live his life fully. And until that point, uh, I I'm only in the background and deal with my activity only the remaining time what I have. So I think that's what holds me back.
Okay. So it's your family and having to put them first.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then what could be like the dark side of your gifts?
The dark side. uh, so my energy can drain very fast if I'm surrounded with negative people.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think this one. And what else? Yeah, I think that's the strongest
Okay. So
drawback.
have you started drafting it?
Not yet.
Okay.
So I'm
So based on what you've said, and again, just off the top of my head, I would present myself as a woman who has put her family first her whole life. But in spite of that, you've still been able to um, create this cocoon or bubble for yourself and you've, in spite of that, you've been able to create yourself as an artist. You know, because so many women will relate to putting their families first. You know, and then to also talk about you know, your sensitivity. I feel if you could just lead with these things, and then looking at your paintings, there is a connection.
Yes, there is, because I
There is
usually
a
paint
connection.
emotions very
Yes,
strongly.
there is definitely a connection. So if I read this, if I, as a woman, if I read this, you know, and then I experienced your paintings, there is no doubt that I will feel a connection to you and to your paintings. So if you would like to just kind of follow the format and write something, then we can all, you know, comment and give some feedback and everything. But I really think that's like the first sentence. You know.
Thank you
What do
very
you
much
think?
for the ideas. I'm going to try.
Pardon?
I'm going to try to write a
Yes,
version.
yeah. I mean, it's a work in progress. I've gone over mine like 5 times already, and I'm still not. You know. So, yeah. So just write. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I believe the first 2 sentences have to be the most compelling. You know, and then the rest is about our accomplishments, etc., etc. You know. So write it out, and then we can all give you some feedback. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Dee, I tagged you. Did you see the post?
Yes, I did, and I've kind of written down. I had been writing down ideas.
Come in.
So.
Okay.
So do you want to hear them?
Yes, please.
Okay. So and I think that's a great question. When someone sees your art, what is the one thing you want them to know about you? And I think that's really I love that. I love that way of looking at it. So my biggest gifts, and I think it was interesting because I just did a little deal on TV, on Face, an email that I got, and it was basically that I was a leader and a trainer. And I really feel that that kind of sums it all up. But what I put down as my biggest gifts was that I'm a mentor, which I am a leader, a trainer, being a mentor. But I love mentoring people. I mean, to me, that's just the ultimate of mentoring them for their success. And then I put second, caring, and I think that kind of goes along with mentoring, because I feel like I'm a person. My kids always tease me about that. Don't tell mom that you're having a problem with something, because she'll send you a self-help book, and they have stacks of them. And my friends and everybody, that's what I do. And then I'm a uniter. I'm in, and that kind of takes me into professional, because I do a lot of that in my business and in my private life. Right now we have 2 daughters that are odds with each other, and yesterday I got together with one saying, okay, you guys need to get back together. So here I am. I'm being a uniter, So I bring people together, and those are kind of all in the same thing: bringing people together to teach, being together to mentor. So, and that brings me down to basically, well, and so also in my professional world, and my business is with my husband's over 40 years. And even before then, I even had I had arts and craft businesses that I was always doing. The neighborhood walk art gallery, where we had have some like 3 or 4 homes. And this was like when my kids were young, 40 years ago, before that was really even a popular deal, So, so I've always had businesses ever since I was old enough to walk almost. So I've been in a business world capacity, and I'm very detail oriented and very creative with that, and very diversified. And then I put trainer again because that's what I've done in my business. And I also find that in my professional, I tend to have a bigger view of things. In other words, I don't just make it about what's on the table now. How can it affect, you know, how can it affect the whole world? You know, that's what I do. And then my husband in all of this, he has a leash and he reins me in all the time. You know, and then so what holds me back and is, you know, the hard part that kind of emphasizes all of my good qualities, but then again holds me back is my perfectionism. I just, you know, I just work at something to get it before I do it. And that was one thing that Alexis really has helped me with.
Okay.
And then the other one was this too many interests. I mean, God, I want to do everything that's creative. I mean, I'm knitting, I'm crocheting. I just signed up for a pottery class, you know, and it's like, okay, wait a minute, you know. I went and bought yarn a month ago. I was going to make all of my 12 grandkids and my 10 kids and 12 grandkids. I was going to make them all knitted. It's a little late, maybe next Christmas. So, and then also I think I have a fear of failure. I don't like failure. I just do not like it. My husband's always telling me when something goes upside down on a project, he says, you know, look, you did the best you could do. You made it the best you could do. So, you know, it is what it is, and accept that. And I just, it's like I can't accept that failure. It's very, very difficult. So I wrote a list. So I kind of put that together a little bit. And again, it's a working process too. But I put together this about me. After being an artist since a young child, I finally came to the point in my life that I could have my heart's desire and become a professional artist. The process took way longer than I thought. But I realized it takes time to find your place in the art world. Sometimes that is different than what you thought, and sometimes it all is combined with what you thought. I thought I was what I felt as a very successful artist, creating and making beautiful paintings. And in that process, I realized that my true passion was mentoring and teaching and sharing others, so that they too can become the successful artists that they want to be.
Okay. When you were talking about the thing that has held you back, because I know your why, and because I know that teaching is your main focus, I feel that if you began the conversation with, and again, I'm just using his format. If you're reading this, you're probably a perfectionist. You may have a fear of failure when it comes to painting, right? So because in my mind, you're speaking to students. You know, so to begin the conversation.
Say that again. If you're reading this, you may be a perfectionist.
Yes, or you may have a fear of failing when it comes to, you know, creating a piece of art or something. You know. And then you so that's the thing that will grab me if I'm going to become your student.
Yeah. Oh, that's very good. Okay, that's good. And then go on from there with my story.
Exactly. And so to lead with that, and then to I'm trying to the dark side of your gift, because when I look at the very traditional style of painting, I look at your style of painting, which is very much like Kelly Folsom's, because I'm in her class.
Yeah.
It takes away my perfectionism, you know, because I don't get to sketch. I don't get to, you know, I get to go to the canvas or the board and begin this process. And I just have to continue using the colors, the lights and the dark, and continue and continue. And at the end of the day, this painting forms, as compared to my usual style where I have to know what the end result is before I begin. So I'm just using that as a context. You know, if you're speaking to me and you're talking about perfectionism, you know, this style of painting is going to be able to get me out of my perfectionism. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So are you, so let me go back to kind of get that concept, what you're saying. So like Kelly, I haven't taken a class. I do have DVDs, but I haven't watched them yet or anything. And, but see, I tell my students, we don't draw or sketch. Is that what she does?
Yes, she doesn't. Okay. There's no drawing, no sketching, which is, again, I come from, with my fashion illustrations, I need to sketch it out. You know, it has to be perfect even before I begin.
Oh, I see.
So I'm just saying that to lead with the fact that even you have struggled with perfectionism, and yet you've overcome that to become this prolific artist who has created all this body of work and who is now mentoring artists. That works.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. You're hired.
Thank you.
But I mean, I saw the video, you know, that you were talking about, and and I thought it was very good, and so I was going to go back and watch it again just to kind of solidify, you know, some stuff, which I'm still going to do because I think it's really worthwhile to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you shared that with Alexis?
No. I'm not in Alexis's world right now.
Oh, you're not? Oh, okay.
Okay, Marianne, do you want to have a go at this?
I took just a few moments to list some things last week. What you just had to say about Dee's situation applies to me too. I listed my gifts, and they aren't all as touchy-feely, really. Again, I'm not a pile of fluff. I am more ordered and just my personality. Anyways, I would say perfectionism has definitely, it can be crippling, and it is one of the dark sides of my attempt to control things. I went through a controlled type of painting and decided to step away from it to become a more relaxed, looser, more, I want to say maybe emotional, more spiritual approach. I would have to try to relate that. I'm somebody that can be very stoic and tends to be quiet and tends to watch everyone else. Because when I do speak, it's usually drawing up from the depths of emotion, which, you know, it's like still waters run deep. That's me. And I'm going to say that's probably Allison too. It's just that you know, we like our world on the surface to be ordered. And if we share too much of what's going on underneath, it almost like it can sink the boat. It'll overwhelm us. Your Beata approach to being an empath, I just took one of those crazy tests online. Are you an empath? 20 questions, which is crazy. I answered 15 of the 20 yes, were absolute yeses. And then there were 2 of the other ones that were yes sometimes, and 3 were no's. I am very sensitive to my environment. That's why I tend to remain behind a protective shield. Anyways, I've started this process, and I pretty much understand my dark side. And the things I listed for my pros were the ability to come into a situation and discern the requirements of people involved. Mine was always standing between 2 people, the one ordering the service and the one designing the service. And I had to additionally design and implement, and I was skilled at it. So that's something I was very good at, reading the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
But the dark side of everything, it seems to be either my energy is scattered, there are too many choices, or I'm trying to control too much. And learning to relax has been part of this evolution of painting abstracts. And I know that I can write this down and adjust this because I know there are a lot of people out there. You always hear these women who are taking painting courses. Oh, well, I just can't do that. I've never been able to draw a straight line. Well, I can't either, without a straight edge and a sharp pencil, and I'm good at it once I've got those tools. But I know I'll be able to do this. It's just that I haven't been able to dip into it completely because I have to deliver 2 paintings tomorrow. And I'm sort of, I'm under the gun, and then I go to work. I just dismissed a call that came across a moment ago from my mentor. I'm supposed to work for him for the next few days after I deliver this. And then we're going to actually go away for a few days traveling. So I'm sort of middle of next week. I can attack this again. And I'm looking forward to it because I do hear the value in what you're, trying to get us to do.
So, Marianne, did you get your 2 paintings done pretty well?
I promised to deliver them tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And I did that this morning because I sent the text because I thought you need a little line, you need to have a line drawn in the sand. And so tonight, I have to have them done by tonight, and I'm in good shape. Okay. I'm just tweaking and trying to get the feel, is it working overall?
Okay.
Good.
So
you did it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give you some feedback so that you can have it running at the back of your mind. So I understand you when you say you're not about fluff, etc. But you have a lot of depth, right? You have a lot of depth. And when I look at your paintings, that depth is present. So hearing you talk about, you came from this very structured world, and then you approached abstract as a way to, I would think that your ideal client is buying your abstract because it makes them relax.
Possibly.
So the fact that, you also are a perfectionist, and you came from, doing the trompe-l'oeil and the very realistic, very structured work between your clients. It wasn't about emotion. And now you're doing this very emotional work. So this has been your journey.
Yes.
Right? And so to present that, as being this perfectionist who is now continuing to seek this depth with your abstracts, that's it right there.
Something that there's a book, and I can't tell who it's written by, but it was a French woman. I think her last name is spelled Cassou, I think. But it's all about getting people to step back into playing like a child. And you know how, now this might fly in the face, Dee, of what you're teaching people to do, but so many people are so uptight with having, with so many expectations on their lives, that to get them to relax enough to play is a huge deal, and so difficult. They're so afraid of failing that they put that up ahead of, and I did this too, ahead of allowing themselves to play. If I ever was going to teach anybody, it would be women who were trying to just get loose in their lives, and let the laces, undo the laces and let themselves relax, because we have so much precision and so many people expecting so many things.
Absolutely.
That to get up against a canvas and play without a requirement that it come out so that anybody else liked it. Absolutely. It was more of an emotional experience than that is what, if I could teach that, that's what I would teach. How to relax.
And Marianne, I do that in my class. That is one of the first steps we do, is we play.
Okay.
And that's the beauty of the style that I do. It's impressionistic In fact,
Yes.
we call it abstract impressionism. And it's to take the pain out of making something perfect, you know.
Yes.
Right.
And so I have this little exercise that we do. The very first thing, I give everybody a little 5x7 canvas, and we do a little thing on it like that. And it's so, and it is very, very freeing. I think it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's perfect for both of you because you look at your styles.
Yeah.
When you lead the conversation with the fact that you are a perfectionist and yet you have let loose in order to create this work. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Just have to get it down in words.
Yes, we'll do this. We'll get it done. We'll get it done. So, we will meet on Friday.
Great.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll be here to do it. I may or may not. Don't know yet, but we'll see.
Either way.
Yeah, that day after Thanksgiving, I may have family in, so I'm not sure either, but
yeah, we'll come if we're here, fine. If we're not, then it'll be Monday. Okay.
Well, it will be good for us to all see where we're at and how we did with getting everything out there this week.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Happy
Have a wonderful week,
everybody. I guess I can say
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Let's see. Allison's gone. She doesn't have Thanksgiving. Let's see. And you don't either, do you?
No, we don't have
Thanksgiving. So
no,
my son's here. My son moved back to Portland from Germany, and he's so excited.
Oh.
Thanksgiving. It'll be his first Thanksgiving in 18 years.
Wow.
And so he's excited about having Thanksgiving again.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Enjoy your week.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.